Well, we switch gears a bit. The allegation of employers failing to pay NIS for workers comes to the fore again. The Amalgamated Workers Union says they've got evidence a major bakery in this country has not paid the legal obligation for their drivers for some time. The Chief Labour Relations Officer of the AWU is Ramkumar Narinesingh. Good morning.
Hi,
how are you?
Good morning.
Now, my first question to you, how long has this been ongoing?
Well, based on the reports coming in to us from our members, almost 4 years. We are looking at a period of almost 4 years where the workers, and to be specific, not only the drivers, but workers who are salespersons attached to this company, they have been working for over 4 years, and the company has not paid any benefits whatsoever to NIS. This information came to us. Members came with reports coming from NIS indicating that when they went there to check on their contributions from 2012 to now, or 2013 rather, to now, there's no record of NIS ever receiving contributions. Okay,
are they employees of the company or are they entrepreneurs?
Well, this is it's a complex, apparently it's a complex system that the company has employed to fool workers into thinking that they are being covered and they are not, right? What the drivers are being told is that they are entrepreneurs, and therefore they are hired under contract, similar to a fixed term contract, but it appears to be as if they engage in the realm of distributorship. However, and they're being told, that the salespersons are attached to their positions as their employees, as the driver's employees. And monies are being deducted from the driver's salary under the guise of the employer's contribution for the salespersons. Now, the salespersons, we are told that they get paid cash. No pay slips, no documentation whatsoever. They get paid cash, and no deductions apparently come out from their salary. So recently, one of the workers got injured on the job. As a matter of fact, he got shot. He got shot on the job, both his legs. And that information, as a matter of fact, that was reported in the media. And upon his family checking at NIS and trying to find out how will he be compensated, if it's through workman compensation or otherwise, he was told that there is no record of him ever working. So NIS doesn't have a responsibility to him. Further to that, there is apparently no system that captures him in the realm of workman compensation, because the employer has never recorded him as an employee. So when we started looking at this, we have about 30 members, and we do not have recognition status in that union, in that company, but they joined the union as of the street members. When we started looking into it, we recognized that all our members, none of them have a record in NIS. And some of the drivers brought in some slips showing that deductions are being made under the term miscellaneous. And they said they were told by the company that that is for the NIS contributions for the salesperson.
So the company is saying that NIS deductions are being made?
Yes, but here's the thing. Not from the company is not paying that money. They are deducting NIS contributions from the drivers and telling the drivers that you are the employers of these salespersons. So you have to pay the NIS. Now, mind you, the drivers are paid monthly. They're even given vacation. But every year they are issued a slip that says the company tallies the money that they pay them for the year into one figure and give them a slip that and makes them sign to it, saying that you have received this payment as a contractor, as a distributor for the last year. So on paper, it would appear as if they were hired to do a job and they were paid annually. But the reality is that they receive their money every month.
But do they receive pay slips at the end of the month?
It's a slip that is not really reflective of a pay slip, because no NIS is paid for the drivers either in totality. the drivers are being told that you're being paid this money for a service in the realm of a fixed term contract, but a contract for service, meaning that I hire you to come in and do a job and you leave. But we know what the Industrial Relations Act says as it relates to the definition for a worker. We also know what the Industrial Court has said recently in a public way as it relates to fixed term contract. So it's apparent that the employers have now become, or this employer, I shouldn't say employers, but this employer has become very innovative and has decided to tweak the system and abuse and exploit workers even more. Now, Verna, if you remember, earlier this year, the public was told by the government that potentially NIB is facing a situation where
there's a backlog.
That's right. There's also a situation where they're saying that NIB may no longer be feasible in the realm of not being able to handle the payments due for people because of the fact that apparently there's a disparity with income and expenditure, right, so to speak. But we want to point, as the Amalgamated Workers Union would like to make a statement on that. You see, the reality is that, and being conservative, let's say it have 500,000 people working in Trinidad and Tobago. The reality is that there's a huge percentage of that workforce, right? A significant percentage that is not paying NIS. And they are being told that they're paying NIS and money is being deducted from their salaries, but the employers are not making the necessary payments for NIS, right? Now, everybody would say that there's a system in place and you can make reports and etc. etc. But what is the reality in Trinidad and Tobago as it relates to issues like these really being addressed? The system is poor. We do not have a system. It comes back down to what is the root cause for this scenario existing. NIB, while it would have a system in place.
Yes, they usually would send auditors to companies.
Right. When you look at workers who are working and afraid, given the economic situation in the country, that if I make a report or I go forward and talk about this, I'm almost certain that if we were to mention the people who gave us this information as it relates to this employer, they would be fired by tomorrow. So workers are in a situation where, based on the situation in the country, they cannot afford to let their voices be heard on these issues. And there are employers, not all, and we have to be, see, the thing about this is we can't paint everybody with one brush because there are very good employers in Trinidad and Tobago. There are some employers who have seen the situation in Trinidad and Tobago as an opportunity to exploit the working class in Trinidad and Tobago. And when I say working class, I don't mean just only unionized workers, but workers across the board.
But has the employer, did they come out right and say, I'm not making NIS contributions?
No.
So you're not certain about?
Well, based on the information presented by the workers. So are they
lying?
We have tried to reach the company, and in the phone calls, but we have not been able to reach the company. What we are doing now is preparing a letter. The problem is the workers are frightened that if we bring up this, they may be fired. So we are now between a rock and a hard place. And this morning, what we would want to do is call on employers. Forget about what all the trade unionism for a minute. Forget about all the issues for a minute as it relates to who's doing what and who's not doing what, and appeal to their better side. Appeal to the employers in Trinidad and Tobago from a moral perspective, from a patriotic perspective. Who's the biggest class of consumers in Trinidad and Tobago? The working class. These 500,000 people are the consumers in Trinidad and Tobago. And if they cannot have at least a fair standard of living, and the basic benefits that they have in Trinidad and Tobago are not being given to them, how can they continue to be consumers? How can they continue to be people that can contribute to society in a positive manner?
Mr. Ramkumar, thank you so much for your time, and we definitely hope that this matter will be investigated and it would bring some result to the situation. So